What's up, everyone? We're back again to another Loners. Thank you for stopping in with us. You know, you guys are like family at this point. You know, because how many episodes we've
You
done.
sound like the corporate jobs that tell their employees they're family just to manipulate them into being exploited.
Just keep watching and subscribe to our other channel, please.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
We're doing part 2 of the one we did last time.
Yeah, it seems like you guys liked it a lot too, judging by the views and everything. We need to get back to the comments, but yeah. This is episode 125. Roll that intro. All right. So yeah, the other one we did last week, as you know, was Europe banned these American foods, and today we're gonna do American banned these European foods.
So yes, let's do this.
All right,
video.
let's start the video.
This right here is a Kinder Surprise egg. It's a chocolate, it's a toy, and it's loved the world over. Except in the US, where it's actually banned for reasons you're probably not aware of. Because I wasn't either until I researched this video. I'd heard many rumors, none of them were true. All that and more in today's video, where we look at all the foods that the US has decided to ban from around the world to quote-unquote protect its citizens. Let's see about that. This pairs really well with the video I made a couple weeks ago, where we look at all the American food and food additives that are banned around the world. First up on our list of world foods the US has banned, haggis. Wait, haggis, the Scottish dish that I had to learn about to get my British citizenship, came up specifically in my British citizenship test video? That haggis? What's wrong with that? It's pretty much a mixture of oats and spices.
Wait, that was on your British citizenship test? That's kind of
rammed into a sheep's stomach, sheep liver, and sheep lung. But it's been banned in the US since 1971.
What?
What gives? It's one of the specific ingredients. Is it sheep stomach? No. Sheep liver? That's totally fine. Sheep lung? Banned! That is where the US FDA draws the line. Well, I guess that makes sense if you think, but no, it doesn't. Despite real haggis being banned in the States, you can buy lungless haggis, which is a really weird sentence to say, but if you are caught with traditional haggis in the USA, you will be fleeced of your money because you have to pay a fine. Okay, it's illegal. I'm done with the sheep puns. He said sheepishly. But the whole sheep lung thing is another reason why black pudding, a pivotal part of a full English breakfast, is also banned in the States. Absolutely no lungs allowed. And so they replaced the black pudding with more pancakes and syrup.
no lungs, but then
That's so weird.
yeah. But like
You can eat tongue. You can eat everything else.
yeah, and even like Fagra, the liver. Well, I'm just saying like
No,
there are
it's-
other
it's weird,
organs
yeah.
they let you eat. Not that I'm advocating for eating sheep lungs, but
I mean,
Which is actually just corn syrup. Look it up. Most American pancake syrup has no maple syrup in it at all. It is just high fructose corn syrup.
What?
Sometimes I just
That's
want
not
the
surprising.
corn syrup rather than the maple syrup, and it's like a third of the cost. Number 2. Now this one actually wildly surprised me. Have you ever heard of Tonka Beans? If you're an American, you're like,
I've
I know what a
never heard of
Tonka
that.
truck is. Well, yes, imagine a
we
Tonka
watched
truck,
a video
except
similar, I think, to
don't
this.
do that because it's a bean.
we watched the one about the lawyer, Legal Eagle. He was saying foods that are illegal in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tonka beans have an intensely strong flavor that resembles vanilla with a touch of magnolia and some caramel mixed in as well, and it is unanimously loved by all gourmet chefs. And think of it as a vanilla bean. You don't actually eat the vanilla bean, it's not like a can of Heinz. It's just, you know, you take the little tiny bits out and you mix it into your dish, and that nice little flavor flavors your dessert. But this amazing flavor has a toxic secret. You see, it contains a chemical compound called coumarin, which in large enough quantities is incredibly toxic to your liver and can also kill you. Yikes. So once a study had found that dogs and rats died from just 2 teaspoons of the stuff, the US FDA officially banned Tonka beans in 1954. However, it is such a ubiquitous ingredient in gourmet cooking that gourmet chefs will continue to illegally import Tonka beans into the States, despite the fact that the FDA have actually performed raids on different chefs' kitchens, going straight to their spice cupboard, being like, show me the bean!
Did you ever? So she's
Wait,
she was
hold on,
she's
hold
a
on.
chef, but
I want to read this.
if the FDA shows up soon, they walked in. Can we look at your
Don't be
spice
surprised
cabinet?
if it
Damn.
shows up soon. That's so funny.
But so since you were a chef, even when you were like the private chef, like not private, but you were helping the private chef,
Yeah.
she never had this, or you never used this?
No, and even if she did, I wouldn't say that. I would be like, yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. She definitely
Yeah.
played around with things that weren't FDA approved, but not
That's interesting.
Yeah, not
Yeah, something
beans.
illegal like that. Yeah.
It's quite wild. Yet, despite the fact of there being threats of raids and also it being illegal completely, the US is still the #1 importer of Tonka beans around the world. Love it when a law works. But if Tonka beans are so dangerous, why is
What?
it so beloved in Latin America? And why is it that the
pretty
EU
funny.
hasn't banned it? They seem to be pretty trigger happy on making sure that everybody's safe and all. Lame. Time to finally use those math degrees I
Yeah.
got. All right, let's do some math here, okay? So, did you know that an amount of coumarin enough to kill you would be 1 gram? All right, so we got to avoid having 1 gram. How many Tonka beans would it take to have 1 gram of coumarin? Well, that would be 30 whole beans. However, like I said, you don't eat a whole bean. It's actually used for flavoring a dish. Now, how many flavorings can we get out of 1 bean? Well, 1 Tonka bean results in 80 dishes. So 1 bean flavors 80 dishes.
Wow.
And since you need 30 beans in order to have a toxic amount of coumarin in your system,
I think it's just
That's
the
insane.
lack of awareness. I don't think a
Yeah.
lot of people are aware that
They'd be
one
afraid that they would
bean-
put too much or do something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
like I don't think an average home cook is gonna sit there and think 1 bean is
Yeah.
or half a bean. You know,
I get you.
I don't think they're thinking that. Also, maybe people would use this to poison people because it probably wouldn't show up in an autopsy.
You
as
would think
something-
of that.
Calm down.
that means you'd have to have
Curious.
2,400 dishes worth of Tonka beans in order to have a toxic effect on your body.
Oh, damn.
Americans do eat a lot, though.
I mean, they pass so many other chemicals
There's
that it
a
would
lot
take
of-
a crazy amount to affect
Yeah.
you, but this is like not.
That's weird.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's interesting.
is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I don't get it.
So the US FDA might have blown things a little bit out of proportion with the Tonka bean, but luckily for me, I live in the UK, and the UK and the EU still have freedom to eat Tonka beans. Also, I do find it really weird that this was the hill the FDA decided to die on because coumarin is also in cinnamon in a lot higher quantities, and yet that's fully legal. So, I wonder what rival to Tonka
That
beans
doesn't make
possibly
any
paid
sense.
the FDA for that law.
Right.
Now, mustard oil isn't really a popular cooking
Right.
ingredient in the States, but it really is with most Indian cooking, and it has been used in Indian cooking for centuries. The thing with mustard oil is it really has that intense mustard flavor that packs a punch, so you have to use it sparingly. And you also have to use it sparingly because it does have some toxic chemical compounds in it. Mustard oil contains high levels of erucic acid, which is potentially linked to heart problems. For this reason, the United States FDA have banned the use of mustard oil in all cooking practices. But that doesn't mean you can't find it on USA shelves. You see, there's a really easy loophole for this one. I've seen it before. You just gotta slap a label on it that says, "Not for human consumption." But, you know,
Not for-
whatever you do with it after you buy it, that's up to you. I don't know, use it in a soap. Give it to a child to give to someone else. Treat it like a pet rock. Helps me go use the loo. It makes me feel like I must hurt. Oil be sorry for that. I'm hurting myself with these puns. All right, next up,
I
foie
want to know how
gras.
much time goes into the dad jokes.
Foie gras. The foie gras is actually a French delicacy made from a fattened duck or goose liver that's eaten in the form
I thought you
of a
said that was
pâté.
legal here.
Now, I added foie
It
gras
is
to this
now.
list
I don't
because
know
in the
when this
last
was made.
video, we
This
saw
was
that
made
the
8 months
EU
ago.
bans a lot of US
It's
food
legal now.
based on their mistreatment of animals. But this is an example of the US doing that same thing.
There's
so
only
the US
like
doesn't
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure there's only one plant that Hudson Valley.
really enjoy that in order to get foie gras,
allowed
it
to.
means that you have to force feed the animals to a point that's pretty inhumane. And as much as I'm saying, you know, this is banned in the US, it's not actually statewide, just certain states that actually have slight morals for animal health, that being
Oh.
California. That being said, it is also illegal to produce foie gras in the UK, and it nearly became illegal to import last year, but the bill never passed. But the French don't give a crap, okay? They don't give a
It's really not that good.
quack. A quack, 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 quack. But I
They
did
don't
just
give a
want to put
quack.
this one out there because I felt like, even though it's not
French
all
love
the
it.
US, some of the states were like, don't do that bad thing to animals. So, slightly similar. Now, this one surprised me more than most of the other ones here, but in the US, it's illegal to slaughter a horse, aka kill a horse primarily for human consumption. But that is totally fine in the UK and in the EU. In fact, you might have seen some news and the reports that Tesco used to have horse meat in their burgers, and the UK went mad. There's quite a taboo on horse meat, I believe because the animals have helped us through a lot of forms of society. You know, we've ridden horses, a lot of people have them as pets. Heck, I grew up with 2 horses on my property,
That's
so
true.
like, I'm a big horse guy myself, but this is actually a good example of the US being like, hey, no, the UK not actually banning it, but going, we don't really like it, but we'll have some horse meat in our Tesco burgers and complain about it. And then France going, shut up and let us enjoy our Chavar. And now finally, the Kinder Surprise egg. Now, most of you do know that the Kinder Surprise egg
That's interesting though. So that's wild. So do you guys eat horse meat over there?
Did you not just hear what he said?
He said it's legal.
Yeah, but he said it's not. It's kind of frowned on, but it's not illegal.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm asking, like, you guys let us know if you know anyone or you guys eat horse meat. Like, if it's like a rarity. Well, it's because like in Australia they eat kangaroos, like things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's as taboo over there as horse meat is.
What if in Thailand that's what I ate?
Surprise egg. Now, most of you do know that the Kinder Surprise egg is banned in the States. In fact, on the back here it says, warning, toy inside. Boy, that's scary. I hate when there's toys. I'm glad there's a warning here. Small parts, adult supervision recommended, not possible to sell to 0 to 3-year-olds. If I saw a 2-year-old walking in my shop to buy one of these, go back to 2-year-old school. What do they do at 2 years old? Rupert Grint's 2-year-old child just goes to Target. Now, most Brits that I've talked to know that the Kinder Surprise egg is banned in the States, but most of them think it's because Americans are too stupid. They'll just eat the whole chocolate, toy and all, and choke the kids to death. That's not actually why. And quite insensitive, first of all. The truth is that the US placed a ban on Kinder eggs before Kinder eggs even existed. You see, in 1938, they placed a ban on food containing non-nutritive items, aka the toy inside of a Kinder egg. And this was a full 20 years before the Kinder egg was even invented. Companies would just invent things and go,
See, I didn't know that. The other video made it sound like they thought people were just going to choke on it.
Yeah, it did.
The toy is in there. It's just
That's
wrapped
weird.
up separately.
Yeah.
Or a cold, use it for a sore throat, selling it to people, not realizing, because they didn't actually do any research, it was actually poison. So many Americans were poisoned, so many children died from this poisonous cough syrup that basically the president had to be like, whoa, hold on. We need a foundation to look over all the food and drugs that are entering our American citizens' bodies and making sure they're all safe, or at least that a really rich corporation is going to tell us that they're safe. And then the FDA was born. So it might be an archaic law that prevents the Kinder egg from being sold in the US, but you can still get the variant of the Kinder Surprise called the Kinder Joy, which isn't really as joyous. It's basically a half toy, half weird chocolate mousse thing. I've never been a fan, but then again, I've also never really been a fan of these. As a kid though, the Wonder Ball, this type of thing, I would have really liked this.
Remember the Wonder
I enjoyed
Ball?
my Cracker Jacks.
No.
On die Kinder,
It was the ball of chocolate, and when you crack it open, it had like mini candies inside.
No.
Die Kinder nicht froh. Das ist Haribo, natürlich. And in almost all 50 states, the sale of unpasteurized or raw milk is fully illegal. In fact, there's a federal ban on the interstate sale of the stuff. So if it's illegal in the state you live in, you're not allowed to buy it from a vendor outside of your state. Everything is legal in New Jersey, except the sale of raw milk. That is banned. But on the other hand, Arizona actually allows raw milk to be sold as long as there's a nice warning label on it, which seems like the most sensible thing to do. Though when I think about it, choosing to live in Arizona is probably the least sensible thing you can do, so balances out. Now, the FDA's decision to ban raw milk was because the consumption of raw milk is linked to significant number of foodborne illnesses, some of which can result in serious complications and death. Fair enough. Like, okay, out of all these, this seems the most fair of all of the FDA's complaints. I mean, we looked at the previous video. It was pretty much carcinogenic things that are actively killing you and harming children. And the FDA goes, that's cool. Even though 160 countries have banned it, we're going to keep it up because it makes people money. This is a case where they actually went, oh, you know, this isn't good. I don't agree with them because I feel like a warning would make more sense for this specific case. But what is it that Americans are missing out on, you might be wondering? You probably aren't someone that normally buys raw milk. No, but you probably buy stuff that raw milk is made into, such as clotted cream. They don't have clotted cream in the States. And authentic brie cheese. What? No, they don't have that camembert?
What?
No, not happening. So many good cheeses. Do you now know why America has so many things like American cheese, spray cheese? They won't let us have good cheese.
That's so what? I had no idea. Maybe that's why like the cheeses in Italy and other places were so good. Okay. What I'm saying, because they have like authentic like raw milk.
It's like unpasteurized.
Yeah, and we can't have that here. I mean, I gotta think. You know, back in the day, when like in the 1700s and 1800s, they just drank the milk straight from the cow. I'm sure they didn't get sick.
I feel like
I feel like we put shit in our milk too.
Remember that they like induce them to lactate a lot more than they naturally would. Okay, just to pump out like more milk.
Yeah.
I feel like a part of the reason places that allow raw milk, like out of the country, those people are grocery shopping a couple times, if not more than that, a week. People here grocery shop like once every couple weeks. So like no one's gonna buy raw milk and drink it before they're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
It'll go bad real
yeah,
quick.
everything here is kind of made to be stabilized a lot longer.
And
that's when
over
you
there-
start adding shit, and you have to pasteurize it if people are gonna have it. Yeah,
That makes
longer.
sense. That
I
does
hate
make
milk,
sense.
but like that's just what it seems like. At least they're doing it for it, but I don't know. Everything kind of goes to like what's gonna make us the most money.
Yeah.
That's it.
It makes sense,
That's
to
what
be
it seems
honest.
like.
Yeah. It is weird how like looking at a lot of these food videos, you see that stuff here is really made to like be able to sit for long periods of time, and they really don't have that in other countries as much.
Yep.
Because they have the fresh aspect more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monterey Jack is also top tier. Now, you can find these types of illegal cheeses in the States, but they're not really authentic because they've been done using pasteurized milk, which changes the flavor profile quite a bit. So if you are an American watching this video, I highly encourage you, your next time you get to visit Europe, to try out these cheeses that you don't get a chance to try, because they're probably going to blow your mind with just how good they are. I am very thankful for the amount of...
I went to Italy with Christian.
Yeah.
And not Italy, Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went to both of them.
Yeah, but when we went to Spain, I remember when we went to that one meat shop and we got like a giant thing of manchego,
Yes,
and we
yeah.
came back and we just sitting there all quietly eating, like devouring the cheese. It was so good.
It was.
amazing cheeses I could try. But that being said, I was gonna cut this one out. I wasn't gonna tell you, but I've been thinking about it ever since I learned about it, and now I want you to as well, okay? We're gonna talk about cheese. Now, everyone knows that mold makes some cheese taste pretty good. I love a good blue cheese. It's a bit of a weird
Blue cheese
thing,
is
but
mold?
it's tasty,
Yeah.
okay? It's accepted.
Are you serious?
What?
Yes. It's
But there's a
I hate
small
blue cheese.
island
I just
off
hate
of
the
Italy,
smell of blue cheese.
Italian island of Sardinia. They've
What?
got a cheese that they've been working on for centuries. It's traditional. It's banned in the States. It's mostly banned in the EU.
Wait, is this
except
the one that
Maggots.
has
The maggots.
maggots?
I bet you.
Ew.
Yeah, I bet you it is.
because Sardinia is claiming it's
No,
traditional.
this
they
is where I draw the line.
technically ban it there. And it's called katsumarsu. Now, katsumarsu
I think it is.
Yeah.
directly translates to rotten cheese. Bear with me here.
Sorry,
It's
guys.
basically sheep's milk made into a pecorino romano cheese, a standard cheese wheel. And then they get a specific fly to lay eggs in there. And wait, just wait. It gets worse. They wait a couple months, open up
Yeah.
the top, and then it's full of maggots just wriggling around. And that is when it's at its peak. That is when you try this delicious katsumarsu. You dip some chips in
Absolutely
it.
not.
You have some wine with it. It's supposedly a delicacy. And if the maggots are gone, well, you can't eat it anymore because that means it's too far gone. So you have to eat it, maggots and all. And it's just, I will try anything. So I would try this. But we can all agree, US, UK, most of the EU, we did a good thing banning this weird thing. Who was the first person to discover this? Just left his cheese out, went, I have no more to eat. I must eat the rotten cheese. Oh, it's delicious. I asked my Italian friend about this and what her thoughts were, and she said, Evan, we Italians pretend Sardinia doesn't exist. I'd like to too, sir. But without further ado, let's wrap this up. If you did enjoy this video and you like this new format thing that I'm trying out, please let me know, because I am that YouTuber that does a lot of different things, and the algorithm will poo-poo on me for not doing only Duolingo videos or only British versus American videos. So anytime I try and mix it up a little bit or put a spin on it or attempt to put more editing in, I suffer. So thank you for the support over all the years. Very much appreciated. But if you're not fully filled in on interesting food facts, I did make a video looking at the most popular student foods across Europe, so I highly recommend you go check that one out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday. Goodbye. I don't want to live there anymore.
Oh my
You
God,
can't buy
not the
good
Colleen
cheese at the
Ballinger.
grocery store. Everyone gets around the food laws anyway. God, how useless is the FDA?
That was funny.
He is funny. It's just
No, he is.
some of his are so cheesy.
That why did we have to end it on the maggot cheese?
I kind of want to try it just to try it and say like, please, any of you guys, if you have tried that, let me know. I really want to know.
Maggots are fucking disgusting.
It's wild. How do they just sit in your stomach?
Well, know when you go to the restroom, that's.
I know, but I'm just like, damn, that's wild. All right. Well, that was an interesting video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to jump over to our vlog channel, okay, guys? And we'll see you next time.
What's that noise?
Dishwasher.
Oh. Bye. Thank you.